Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. Now today I'm going to be making the birthday card that goes with our little Ferrero Rocher box that we made the other day. So they both match really well, so we're going to be doing some more watercolouring and some gold heat embossing, and again I just absolutely love the look of this card. It was actually this card that I made first that inspired this box. So that's just my thought process there. So this is an international sized A6 card. And all the measurements will be on my blog post and the link will be down below. And we got a piece of black and a piece of whisper white there for matting. So first of all we're going to start off by making our stripes. So let me introduce you to the stamp sets that we're going to be using. Normally I wouldn't try and use 3 stamp sets, but I wanted this sentiment here from a number of years, which is the happy and the birthday. Sticking with the birthday blooms, my favourite rose, and the diagonal stripe as well. So we're going to start off with the diagonal stripe, exactly the same as before. The link will be down below for the Ferrero Rocher if you're wondering. I'm just going to grab my VersaFine and I'm going to cover the entire stamp. I'm not going to mount the stamp on anything. So I'm just making sure I've got good coverage everywhere and making sure I've got no harsh lines. So yeah, this is a black pigment ink. I don't mind if it's a bit patchy, it kind of adds to the distressed look. Whoops, I'm trying not to get ink all over my fingers. Okay, so grab your piece of cardstock and press that down. Grab a piece of scrap and then press down and rub. This is a lot easier than trying to get the ink, sorry, the pad, no, the stamp onto the actual paper. I do that with my kids as well. I go through every single name so I get to the right one. Right, there we go. And then lift that up gently. There we go. Don't worry about the edges. Do it again if you really want it to be perfect. So I'm going to set that aside to dry because I don't want to get my fingers and fingerprints in there. And then we're going to be moving on to our rose. So I'm going to be using watercolour paper for this. If you're wondering what type of water paper colour I use, it was just some cheap stuff, but it works really well. It's by the Woodware Craft Collection, $5.99. I actually got that from Indigo Blue, so it works really well for what I need it to, and it's A4 as well, so everyone's happy. Okay, that's just a clear bit of Perspex. I like to use that for my larger stamps. I need to clean, I'll quickly show you, I need to clean this. I had a bit of fun foam mounted on there and I haven't cleaned it yet. So grab your Versamark. Oops. Get that down stuck really well. Right, try again. And we're also going to need our embossing buddy. I'm getting better now at remembering to actually use this. And then get that stamped down. Get our gold powder ready. Whoops. There we go, don't worry if there's marks everywhere else because we're going to be cutting that one out. So it's as per the other project. I'm just going to watercolour it in. So I'm just going to put you on pause now while I preheat my tool and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so we're all preheated. Okay, so we're going to stick with the same colours. I'm going to stick with a Melon Mambo. I still haven't changed my water from the last video, but it's, I'm filming these back to back, so... Okay, so now what you've got to do is colour it in with the first wash. I'm going to colour in the centre as well, because I'll be adding some yellow above that. I've seen some lovely roses with the yellow stamens, and it sort of blends in with the pink underneath, so it kind of goes like a peachy pink colour. So I think that's really nice, and especially with peonies as well, they sometimes do that. So coming up to the right time of year now, where all these start to come out into bloom. A lovely time of year. Okay, so you can use your aqua painters for this as well. My weapon of choice is a paintbrush. I just went a little bit into the leaf there, but we can cover that when we go over with the green. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with a slightly darker colour here. You can see where the little lines are. That's just to indicate where the darker patches are. And there's also going to be some darker patches towards the middle of the flower as well, where less light goes. So I'm doing this really quickly, but normally I would take a little bit more time. If you have any harsh edges, just take your paintbrush and just soften those out slightly. You can also always go over again with a darker colour. Okay, so I'm just going to do the other roses. Just picking up some of the darker colour and then adding those in. Okay, so there we go. There's our rose. It's all coloured in now. And I went round the edges towards the edges here around the flower, and I did darker patches with the green. This will be where there would naturally be shadows around these areas here. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry off, and then I'm going to cut that out just like we did with the other rose, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've cut that out. There you go. It's got the white border around the edge. And so now we're ready to start putting our card together in a moment. So we just need to do the hearts across the bottom and our sentiment. So I've taken the hearts again from here, down the bottom. Whoop, throw it across the room. Make sure your hearts are the right way round. I put that on my mat to line it up straight. Okay, and then add the Versamark ink again. And don't forget to use your embossing buddy. That comes off as well. Use your embossing buddy. My stamps don't want to be sticking today. Okay, so I've done this off centre, so it's just to the side there. Back with our gold again. This should still be hot. Oh, I've just noticed I've got a bit of excess powder, so I'm just going to wipe that off with a dry, make sure it's dry, a dry paintbrush. And just brush off any excess that you see. Otherwise that will heat up and stick to your card. So I may just have needed to have used a little bit more embossing buddy on that. Okay, that's good enough. Just to do our sentiment, I've got just a strip of Whisper White cardstock again. Got a bit of powder there now. And we're going to be using, I put it down somewhere, where did I put it? Here it is, a number of years, and not the 3, but the happy birthday. Right, I hope these stick to my block. I'm going to use a little one for this. This one is block G. I'm going to stamp them one at a time. There we go. Okay, so for this one I have done a tiny little banner. Just try not to touch the image. I'm going to set that aside to dry. And now we can get everything stuck together. Have a little tidy up first. Okay, so we can get this all stuck down. Let's use my tape runner for this. Okay, so yeah, this is a standard A6 card. Oops, and that needs to go on our black cardstock first. I'm going to use a tiny bit in the centre there because I still want all these layers here to kind of lift up slightly, so I'm only going to centre that, and I didn't put the yellow centre, so I'll do that now while this is still drying. So I'm going to use some Daffodil Delight. I'm just going to colour in the centre there, and that should give it a little bit of a nice yellow hue to it. Okay, so now we're just going to pop this up on some dimensionals. I'm going to use the edges. Yep, that side went wrong, don't worry. You can always start again if you do it wrong. And pop that along there, and there we go. Lovely card there to match our Ferrero Rocher box. So thank you for joining me today. If you need any more details on this with dimensions and all the materials that I've used, please click on the link down below and that will take you straight to the project. And give me a thumbs up if you like this, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on my next video.